Nestled deep in the woods, Blackthorn Manor had been abandoned for decades. Its windows shattered and ivy crawling like claws over its crumbling facade. Yet, the Mitchell family decided to move in, lured by the promise of a fresh start after a tragedy. The air around the house was thick and heavy, as though the forest itself was reluctant to let them in. From the moment they stepped inside, strange occurrences began. Madison, their 12-year-old daughter, noticed a wooden rocking horse swaying slightly in her room, though no wind disturbed the air. She dismissed it until she heard a soft giggle that night. It started subtly. Madison complained of whispers in her room at night, voices too faint to discern, but loud enough to keep her awake. The parents, Karen and Mark, brushed it off as an overactive imagination, until Karen found muddy footprints leading from the front door to the basement. They were too small to belong to any of them. Karen descended into the basement, flashlight trembling in her hand. The beam of light illuminated a pile of dusty toys, seemingly untouched for years. As she backed away, she tripped over something soft, a stuffed rabbit with a wide, unsettling grin. A loud crash echoed above her. She scrambled upstairs, finding a portrait of the original Blackthorn family had fallen from the wall. The faces of the children in the painting were scratched out. One night, Madison woke screaming, clutching her neck. Karen and Mark rushed in to find her struggling against invisible hands. Her lips moved silently, mouthing, "Help me." A chill ran through the room and the temperature plummeted. As they pulled Madison from her bed, the rocking horse in the corner began moving violently, slamming against the wall. Desperate, the family sought help. A local priest, Father Jacobs, agreed to bless the house. As he sprinkled holy water, the walls seemed to breathe, bulging inward and out as if alive. From the shadows, a guttural growl echoed. "Leave," it demanded. The priest froze as the water turned black in his hands, boiling over and scalding his skin. Through research, the Mitchells uncovered a horrific truth. The manor's original owner, Eliza Blackthorn, had been a twisted woman who practiced occult rituals. She had sacrificed her own children, their souls bound to the house, to protect her from death. Eliza herself had been buried alive by angry townsfolk, her vengeful spirit now tethered to the manor. Madison grew weaker with each passing day, dark circles forming under her eyes. She spoke in a voice not her own, pleading in fragments. "She's here. She watches. She takes." One night, Karen awoke to find Madison standing in the doorway, her head tilted unnaturally. "Mommy," Madison whispered, her voice layered with something ancient. "She's in me." With no other choice, they contacted a renowned demonologist, Evelyn Grayson. Evelyn arrived armed with relics, holy symbols, and a fierce determination. She explained that Eliza was using Madison as a vessel to regain her form and needed to be banished. The ritual began at midnight. Candles flickered as Evelyn chanted, her voice echoing unnaturally. Shadows darted across the walls, their movements frantic. Madison writhed on the floor, her eyes glowing a sickly yellow. Eliza's ghost materialized, her skeletal face contorted in rage. Furniture flew through the air, and the house itself seemed to groan in protest. Mark was hurled against the wall, blood streaming from his head. Karen clutched Madison, screaming, "Leave her alone!" Evelyn pressed forward, her voice rising above the chaos. "By the power of the Holy Spirit, I command you to return to the darkness." Eliza let out an ear-piercing scream as the wall split open, revealing a fiery void. The spirit clawed at Madison, trying to hold on, but Evelyn plunged a blessed dagger into the floorboards. The house shook violently, and with one final scream, Eliza was pulled into the abyss. The family moved out the next day, leaving Blackthorn Manor to rot. But as they drove away, Madison glanced back at the house. In the upstairs window, she swore she saw the rocking horse move again. Just slightly. The haunting was over. Or so they thought.